Content warning. We have fun and laugh a lot during the process of making this podcast, but some of the movies we watch have adult situations. That means we may use language that isn't suitable for children, as well as topics that could be triggering for some. We want you to enjoy our podcast, and that means taking care of yourself and feeling safe. Thanks for listening.
Regular notes.
But yeah, you can start. Let me know.
It's going.
Oh. Yeah.
Here we go now to the east side. I pick up my friends and we start to die.
Oh, that was Ride.
The song's called Ride.
Oh.
I think.
Ride all night and we ride all day. Yeah, I know that song.
Up all night to get lucky. We're up all night
That's good.
looking for somebody. Somebody. Ooh.
Hi.
Welcome.
back to our little new.
Little-
Already, Keith is just
little
throwing his
new-
hands up in frustration. Welcome back, I guess.
Fucking.
This is our little short, dishonorable unmentionables. I want to clarify. I came up with the name dishonorable unmentionables because I thought it was a nice pun or whatever on honorable mention.
That's funny because I thought I came up with it.
You did? I thought I did. Okay, whatever.
But
Well,
classic
it was
us.
a collaborative effort, I guess. But but what I take from the name dishonorable unmentionables is that these titles are dishonored by the fact that we don't have enough to say about them to dedicate a full podcast to them. But not to say that every single thing we're going to talk about on these episodes suck. Like, that's not the case.
Okay.
It's because I don't think any of the things we're going to talk about today suck.
Okay.
Like, we kind of took a little bit of a movie watching hiatus this week. I feel like
We slowed our pace a little bit.
We did. Usually we watch like a movie like every single night and just like blow through them. We get burnout like a little bit of the time, and so this week we've just been kind of watching a ton of Third Rock from the Sun, which is available on Peacock. I love Third Rock from the Sun. Honestly, like watching it has been watching Third Rock from the Sun has been like wild. Like I have a state of nostalgia that I did not know was possible. I'm like,
oh really?
Yes, like literally, especially like the later episodes, because I think at first, like with anything, like my parents were very weird about me watching it and they thought it was too grown up for me.
Oh yeah.
But then as time
I could see your mom
yeah.
being all about it though.
Oh yeah, my mom loved this show. Absolutely. My mom loved it. But like I think at first like it was a thing where they were like not sure if they wanted to expose, because it came out I think in like 96 or 97 or something like that. So like I was like 11, like I think in 96 I was 11. So like actually I think it came out in January of 96. So
Okay.
I was 10.
Okay.
I was 10 when it came out, so they were really cautious about letting me watch it. But after a couple of seasons, obviously I was a teenager, so
Obviously.
but I remember, so I used to I don't know if I've ever actually told you this. So this is a revelation.
Exclusive.
I used to like I thought I was into fashion. Like I
Sure.
used to just draw like outfits.
Oh,
Like all the time. It was like a thing where I had like, I still have the colored pencils in my drawer. Like I have these like really fancy like French colored pencils.
Are they in a tin instead
Yes,
of a
yes,
like
yeah,
paperboard box?
correct. The tin has like flowers all over it. It's really cool.
Okay. Oh yeah, I know the one.
Yeah.
I've seen it,
Yeah.
folks.
It's real.
I can confirm.
Anyway, I used to like draw like these like outfits and some of it I realize like now as an adult that I think I just was poor and I couldn't afford clothes.
Magazines?
No, clothes, you know.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
have any I not just that I didn't have nice clothes, like I didn't have anything new. Like all of my clothes up until I was like well, all my clothes were
Still.
mostly hand me downs. I wasn't really able to get new clothes.
I have handed down a fair amount of
You did, yeah.
T-shirts to you.
I'm wearing mostly hand me downs right now.
You're welcome.
This shirt, these
Oh yeah.
these long what are these? What are these called?
Long underwear?
Yeah, long underwear.
Long johns?
Long johns. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Anyway, whatever. But I used to just draw outfits. But I say that about Third Rock from the Sun because once the Alyssa, the girlfriend, played by oh god, I can't remember what her name is, but
Is she the first girlfriend?
no, the second girlfriend, the girlfriend that's on,
Yeah, okay.
that has like the short hair,
Yeah.
the Strudwick's daughter or whatever.
Oh, right.
I used to draw a lot of her outfits. Or like do it like I know they're not great, but like there was like something like seeing her and like I loved her hair. Like basically I have her hair now and I'm like, oh right,
that's not fair to your current haircut.
Well, I mean I could style my hair like her hair.
Please don't.
Anyway, I'm just saying, like watching it now, I'm like, oh my god, so much nostalgia. But I don't actually think that I remember so much of like watching the shows. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this. But I actually don't think I've ever really watched any reruns of Third Rock from the Sun. So I remember it so viscerally from like only having watched it when it first aired, which is just like wild to me.
So I never watched it. I think I avoided it actively because I would have been in my 20s. And
Keith is just for the listeners. Keith is almost exactly 10 years older than me. Like just
closer to 30 years older. Rounding up. Yeah. So, and being someone who was speaking of fashion, historically a wacky dresser. I wanted to avoid comparisons to French Stewart.
Yeah. Oh man, but I can see. Yeah.
Now with some distance, I have admiration.
Yeah.
And Dick's.
Oh yeah.
Ensembles are pretty nice. I feel like
I honestly like as a kid, like I didn't really like.
My only other connection to the show, as I mentioned,
right.
Friend of a friend of a friend, can be seen in the episode with Shatner.
One of the episodes with Shatner.
Yeah.
The high school prom or junior
is that what
prom
it is? Yeah, I
episode.
can remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the band. Not someone I knew firsthand.
But you were like, I know who that is. Yeah. That's really cool though. That's very cool.
Yeah, except he was probably an asshole.
I mean, yeah, he was in a band. So
he was in a band in the mid 90s. So
and straight.
Yeah.
So.
And as I mentioned to you when I told you this story, the only other thing I remember about that person is a story where he was busking in downtown Pasadena. And this was secondhand. I heard that he was playing Rebel Girl. I think he was just with an acoustic guitar and was playing a Rebel Girl, and then someone I did know firsthand came up and was like, "No, that's not for you to play. That's kind of a song for us AFAB folks. You don't really get to have that."
And
that's how we did in the 90s. Not me, but
the collective we.
That guy got canceled.
By being on Third Rock from the Sun.
He got canceled for 3 minutes on Colorado Boulevard in 1994 or whatever.
No, yeah. We haven't finished
Probably more like 97.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, well. We haven't finished watching Third Rock from the Sun.
There's a real jump of the shark.
Yeah, season 5
from 4 to 5.
Yeah, is really like 5.
Well, jumping the
just,
shark is unfair.
Well, yeah, but
the opening theme song change is real rough
goes,
for me.
It goes real bad. Yeah, the theme song goes real bad. Yeah, I remember it kind of took a dive. I was like, yeah, like they go really heavy on the giving them. I think they go like really heavy on giving them like life experiences instead of just them like incidentally having them.
Right.
Like before they're like, oh no, we have to make a real huge point of them.
I was getting actively annoyed last night because there's an episode where Sally, that girl, is like, oh, I can't continue this relationship with Don because he's too good looking.
Yeah.
And it's a joke because,
he's fat, so therefore
she's a model and he's Wayne Knight.
Yeah.
But it totally undermines, like,
I know, her
4 previous seasons.
Her entire personality.
The whole joke is that she knows she's hot.
Yeah. Because she's not.
She knows she's conventionally attractive.
Well,
because they chose their bodies.
Well, they didn't. I sort of. I mean, like I feel like that's not a consistency in the show because they talk about. She talks about how she didn't have a choice, and because like I guess
they made her be the
girl, so like she didn't have a choice, and she she's uncomfortable, and
right.
but she get. I kind of enjoyed the way that they portray that because I feel like it's not directly like they don't like make a. I mean, like there's a couple like transphobic things that happen.
Couple three.
But you actually see the journey of her becoming more comfortable in her own body, which I feel like that's I enjoy that.
It's complicated.
It's complicated, but like the way that they see it, where she's like, no, I am a woman, and that's how I identify, and that's just I'm a woman. Like like because they have an episode where
she love shopping and shoes and
but they have the episode where she and Dick get their bodies switched, and she's like, no, I want to be a woman. Like I want to be a woman. I'm a woman, and because she says that, she was like, they're like, why do you want it? She's like, why did you want to, like, I don't know, because she's the one that requested a transfer like immediately, like she didn't want to be in the woman, and then like. And but I think seeing that journey, I think it's an interesting way because they do it gradually. Like they don't make a big deal about it.
No, I take your point.
So
I don't disagree.
I like how it seems to be inconsequential to like, it's just like her character grows and they like kind of like are like, oh, we're not going to do the thing where like she's a man trapped in a woman's body. But like, instead, it's more like she's a woman who was like assigned male at birth, but like there's no question about it at all that she's actually a woman. Like they don't, so I like that kind of journey is like really interesting to me. But yeah, I agree with you on that episode being like, what? Yeah, like when she's like, I get it, I'm ugly, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But I do also, like, I know the point of that is that the pressures of beauty standards shift and change, and also like someone who's completely conventionally attractive can be 100% convinced that they are hideously ugly because of the pressures to be beautiful all the time. So, like, I think, like, that is, like, the believable aspect of it, but obviously they didn't do it well for that episode. Because she goes to, like, go to the plastic surgeon, and that's who makes her feel ugly.
Oh, right.
And because she's like, yeah, I know I don't need any work. I'm great. And he's like, ooh, absolutely not. And she's like, what the fuck? And he's like, ooh, you need a lot of work. And she's like,
I might have missed
that. And that's, you're probably taking a tinkle.
Or just actively checked out.
That does not sound like you.
What else?
But this is the part when I said I want to do Dishonorable Unmentionables about Third Rock from the Sun and Rock and Roll High School, and you looked at me so you were like, what didn't you like about Rock and Roll High School? And I was like, no.
Immediately defensive.
You
or
were
like
you like just looked at me like
crestfallen.
you were like very unhappy with me, and I was like, what's wrong with that? You're like, what didn't you like about it? No, it was really.
I didn't realize you didn't like it that much.
You're so like upset.
Oh.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. The wild thing, the thing that I keep revisiting about it though, and this actually kind of isn't about the movie itself, but it's more about the fact that like I did not grow up with this music at all. Like I don't know if that I knew anything. I mean, other than like maybe stuff that played in films or whatever,
sure.
or TV commercials. Growing up, I don't think I really was introduced to the Ramones until I was like an adult.
Here you go, anthropologists. You've met a punk-free.
Oh yeah, I did not experience punk at all growing up.
I mean,
which is wild to me. It's wild. I should have. Like so many people that I know of that are like my age or around my age are like, oh yeah, like my mom, my parents like grew up around this music, so it was all in my life,
sure.
And I just didn't have that. Mine was like, oh, we listened to I mean, I did have like CCR and
okay.
some
I'm a little
like
surprised.
Peter, Paul and Mary and stuff like that.
Played at home by your parents?
Yes. Played at home, mainly by my mom. My dad didn't really like anything.
Music?
Yeah, basically.
I could see that.
My mom.
Too many temptations.
Yeah. No, just like he's not a musical person. Like my mom is someone like she sang in church and stuff like that, and she,
right,
knew about music and things like that. Like
and also your grandma's record collection.
Oh my god,
45s.
Yeah.
Right.
So my grandma had this like insane record collection that was like it mainly consisted of 45s, and it mainly consisted of male artists that were either country or rock. That like line. Some satire as well.
Oh. Like who?
Oh god, there's the Mellow Yellow done by like this I can't remember who it is. It's like it's the song Mellow Yellow, but it's sung as some like
fucking Richard Nixon or
I think it's Nixon.
Some shit like that.
Yeah. And it's just like ridiculous. Like someone's just in the background being like, "Quite right, Senator. That's right." While he's saying.
Oh my god.
It's all I remember is "Quite right, Senator."
Stand by, Senator Bobby.
They call me Mellow Yellow.
Quite rightly.
They call me Mellow Yellow.
Quite rightly, Senator. Yes.
So like and then just stuff like that. I don't remember a lot of it, but tidbits about Z. We weren't I think I mentioned this in a previous episode when I was talking about the trauma of my childhood. You're welcome, everyone.
Yep.
That in the summertime we weren't allowed to watch television.
Oh, right.
So but we went to my grandma's house every Friday night for dinner.
Oh god.
And as my grandma God, what was my life? My grandma thought it was bad for the TV to turn it off and on again.
It's true.
It would
just like fluorescent lights, right?
So basically,
do you remember this too?
She would turn it off she would turn it on and she would turn it off one time. She would turn it on when she got up. She would turn it off when she went to bed.
Wow.
It would stay on between then. She did not think that you were allowed to turn your TV on or off in between those times.
Who
she
told
was
her
like,
that?
I don't think it was. I think that was bullshit. I think she just literally could not stand silence.
Yeah.
Or like not having a distraction.
Do you remember?
I can't relate.
That used to be the thing with computers too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember that. I remember being like, "Don't turn it on and off a bunch. You're gonna ruin it." Yeah. So, but my grandma would mute the television because she wouldn't turn it off. So she would just mute it. So it would play in the background, and then we would listen to 45s while the TV played silent. But we weren't allowed to watch TV. We could.
Was this a loophole?
Sort of. Like
being at grandma's?
Yeah, sometimes like basically my mom just didn't want us, like if we'd seen something already, She just didn't want us watching. She wanted us not to watch TV for the sake of watching TV. She wanted us to watch something because it was engaging or interesting. Like we could watch some TV in the summertime, like if PBS ran a special or something like that. If they had something, we could do something like that.
What about sports?
No. Oh, maybe. I think maybe. So every Sunday, my grandpa would usually come over, and he would usually buy pizza from Pizza Hut.
Okay.
And so he would bring soda and pizza and when it was football season. But when it wasn't football season, we would watch movies.
Okay.
And my mom would cook other things.
Is this when he would bring the Sunny edits?
Sunny edits, yeah. Or movies that he liked, such as Twins, Kindergarten Cop. Yeah.
Interesting.
Other movies. I can't remember. He would bring stuff. Sometimes I would be forced to watch things that were terrible. But that's getting off the subject of Rock and Roll High School, which is a movie that I never would have been allowed to watch at all. It's just so like anti-authority / like your parents are wrong. Are
there any parents? There's barely parents.
Oh yeah, there's barely parents in it, but like at the end when they like blow up the school and they're basically just like fuck you, mom and dad, and every authority figure that it's in our life, we're gonna listen to rock and roll. I'm like, oh yeah, my mom would be like, you're not allowed to watch that. Or if I watched it, she would like have like a fucking diagram explaining to me all the ways in which it was wrong and bad for me. So that's the kind of upbringing that I had. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like, oh my God, I'm kind of sad that I never saw it before now. I'm sorry that I didn't. I don't mean like I'm sad that I never watched it before that specific moment, but I mean like in my life.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, Keith has been trying to get me to watch Rock and Roll High School for at least like a year, for the entire time that we've lived together at least. And I've just been like, I don't know, because I don't have any nostalgia for the Ramones, and I was like very worried that it was just going to be like...
I don't either, really.
No, I just mean like that's what I was worried about that. Like I was worried like I was going to be like, I don't...
I think that's why it...
appealed to you?
Why it has any lasting appeal is because the Ramones aren't like the star of the movie.
Yeah, right. Which is also what I thought it was going to be. Just like a movie about the Ramones.
Right.
I love that. I loved all of the stuff that the what's his name, the bassist or whatever, was such a bad actor that they cut his line from being like, "Hey everyone, there's pizza," to just pizza.
Hey, pizza.
He couldn't couldn't say like,
Dee Dee?
yeah, Dee Dee, yeah, because he couldn't say like, hey everyone, look, there's pizza. Like he boffed it so badly that he just was like, hey pizza, and in the movie he's just like, hey pizza.
Hey pizza, great, let's dig in.
It was good.
My favorite moment is when whatever Joey says and it's almost entirely incomprehensible.
Oh my. You rewound it multiple times and you were like, what does he say?
I love it.
This just is classic Z, but the girl, what's her name? Riff
Randall.
Riff Randall. She, or was it Riff Riley?
Oh,
shit. What was it? Because you said it wrong. And
right
I don't
now?
remember. No, before the movie. Yeah, and now I don't remember. Anyway.
Okay, well.
Hey, it's Riff Randall, I'm number one fan.
When she's like fantasizing about, and they're like, so like Joey and Riff are like almost kissing like the whole time, and they're just like really close, and they're just like,
It is Randall.
Okay, Riff Randall. And they're just like really close and like really, and she's just like, oh. And then when he actually comes to the high school, and he's like singing to her, they're really close. But two things about it, they never actually like kiss or do anything like that at all. But they seem actually like visually watching them, they seem very sweet. Like it seems really sweet. Like they seemed like they got along. Like it doesn't seem like it's just like gross or anything. It just seems like really sweet interaction between them. Which, I mean, I guess I guess you'd call that good chemistry. But I was like, oh, I like this. It's really sweet because they're not actually doing anything.
Right.
But it's showing how, like, his music, it's like a very visual representation of, like, his music means a lot to her. But her appreciating it means a lot to him.
Oh.
And it's like and that it's so
That's
I don't
nice.
know, just the way that I was like, this is so sweet. I loved watching that. I really did. And I also like the fact they didn't actually kiss or anything like that. They were just like really, really close, and their mouths were like almost touching, but they were just like singing to each other. I was like, oh, this is so sweet. You never get to see just like like it looked like someone that was like a huge fan of like someone. I don't know.
Yeah.
There was so much trivia about basically how like the Ramones got paid shit and how everyone got paid shit for this movie,
right.
which I'm like, what? It was insane.
Didn't they have to? Wasn't there something like they had to play gigs while the movie was being shot?
While the movie was being shot,
cover their hotel bills.
Because they couldn't afford. Yeah, they got paid like $20,000 or $25,000, I think, as a band, like all together to share the number 25,000. But Riff Randall was paid like $2,000 total, and she used it all just to buy her own wardrobe for the movie,
which is
because
amazing.
She didn't think that they'd had a good wardrobe for the character. So she spent her entire paycheck on the character's wardrobe.
Wild.
I mean, she kept it, I think. She was like, yeah, this is
Well, yeah.
yeah. But like, yeah. Supposedly the jacket that she wears, I think at the end, like the
like silky
red one? Silk jacket that she wears at the end, supposedly I think Rod Stewart wanted that jacket and was like in the store like to buy it, but she got to it first.
Oh.
Yeah, that's in the trivia. I don't know if that's a true story. That's like supposedly what she says happened. So, yeah. So she got that jacket instead of Rod Stewart.
I just want to mention Clint Howard, because I always want to mention Clint Howard.
Right? I know.
I thought he was great.
No, he's great. He's great in this. Everyone is great in this. I really liked it. I really thought it was good. It was a lot of fun. And I was like, this is not at all. This is not at all what I thought it was going to be. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, so our Dishonorable and Mentionables are stuff that is a lot of fun that you should watch.
Also known as Girls Gym.
What's that mean?
That's an alternate name for Rock and Roll High School?
No way. Although I do love the scene where they are in the gym, like dancing around and singing to the Ramones, and they get caught by like the hall monitors, H&M.
Yeah.
And they go and get like the principal, and when they get in there, they're just exercising like they
perfectly.
But like the gym teacher's like, okay, you can like run laps. Okay, run laps. And she's telling them, and then like Riff is like, okay, everyone, let's run laps. And then everyone's just listening to Riff. I'm like, oh, I love this. And they're like, well, we can't like get them in trouble because they're doing what they're supposed to. So this is weird. I loved that. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
Okay.
This week's Dishonorable Dishonorable Dismentionables? No. Dishonorable Unmentionables are
unhonorable Unmentionables.
Third Rock from the Sun, starring the beautiful and gigantic John Lithgow, and Rock and Roll High School, starring the
beautiful and gigantic Joey Ramone, R.I.P.
Yeah.
Super gigantism.
Why is that line from Venture Bros like the funniest one? Anyway, yeah, that's all I have to say about those.
All right.
Thanks for listening to our mini-sode.
Until next time. Keep looking up.
Buonasera, signorina. Sarò il tuo amante stanotte. The weight of the world seems to shine like you've had you too much wine. That's amore. Bells will ring, chicken